Hey Kayla. Hi Ranger. Hi Peyton. Hey everybody. Give it another 20 seconds and let's get started. While you guys are waiting, please go ahead and get out some paper and pen or take out your notes section on your phone so you can take notes. I'm going to give you guys 10 steps for how Mr. Trump is going to win this election. 10 very critical, very important steps to Mr. Trump winning the presidency. I'm going to give it just a couple more seconds for people to come in. They're popping in right now. Hi Chaz, hi Deet. Hi. Hey, love to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's going red this year because of people like you. Bridget Parvin. Okay, guys. Okay, so get out your notepads. 10 steps for providing... Hi, love to Ohio. No, this is a hairband. This is just to keep my hair up. Okay, 10 steps to prevent election fraud and make sure that Mr. Trump wins the presidency. Number 1, we have to, in order to combat voter fraud, we must overwhelm the polls. We have to get every single person who is a Trump voter out to vote in overwhelming force and in overwhelming numbers. There will be election fraud in this election. There will be voter fraud. So in order to combat that, we have to overwhelmingly win this election. It is going to be a close one, but we can't settle for a close election. We have to overwhelm the polls. That is number 1 step. Number 2, we are going to wear red on election day. This is called Operation Code Red. There were hundreds of precincts that had 0 votes for Mitt Romney in 2012 in states like Ohio and Pennsylvania. By wearing red, we are going to dismantle the thought that there could be mathematically impossible 0 votes for Trump in precincts. So number 1 is to overwhelm them at the polls. Number 2 is to wear red. It is Operation Code Red. Number 3, I'm asking everybody to bring your Trump sign with you to the polls. Now, what I need you guys to do is every single state has its own law on how far outside of the poll you need to be to electioneer. So in Virginia, for example, you have to be 40 feet away from the poll in order to electioneer for Mr. Trump. So I'm asking everybody to bring your Trump sign with you that you have at your house on election day and bring it to the polls. Find out how many feet you have to be away, stick it in the ground. So people are not only going to see a sea of red, but they are also going to see a gigantic sea of Trump signs at every single poll because you brought your sign with you. Number 1, overwhelm them. Number 2, code red. Number 3, bring a Trump sign. Number 4, bring a black pen with you to the polls. Again, bring a black pen with you. And this is going to tie into number 5. When you go to vote, ask for a paper ballot. Ask for a paper ballot. And what you're going to use is that black pen to fill out your paper ballot. Do not fill out a paper ballot with pencil. I repeat, this is very much like a Scantron for school. Use a black pen only to fill out a paper ballot when applicable. Step 1, overwhelm them with numbers at the polls. Step 2, wear red. Step 3, bring a Trump sign, put it the designated amount of feet outside of the poll. Step 4, bring a black pen. Step 5, ask to vote a paper ballot. Step 6, if you are unable to vote with a paper ballot, that means you're going to be voting electronically. So step number 6, I'm asking you to check, double check, and triple check your vote for Mr. Trump as well as all of the other candidates you are voting for. We have had several cases of people who pushed a button for a candidate and it switched to someone else. So I'm asking you, before you press the enter button or the complete button or whatever button you have, make sure that the button registers for Mr. Trump as well as all of your other candidates. And what I'm asking people to do is Mr. Trump needs a Congress that he can work with. So therefore, I am asking you to vote Republican down ballot. I know the Republicans have not been very friendly to Mr. Trump, but he needs a Congress he can work with so we can push things through like immigration and jobs and making sure that the Democrats do not take away our gun rights, etc. Okay, so let's start from the beginning again. Overwhelm them with a huge amount of supporters at the polls. Wear red. Bring your Trump signs with you. Bring a black pen. Ask for a paper ballot. If you are unable to vote with a paper ballot, check, double check, and triple check your vote on an electronic machine. Number 7, this one is critical. If you see a bus busing in people to the polls, it is your obligation to follow that bus to see where it goes. People have historically bussed people from polling location to polling location to polling location, and these same people have voted over and over and over. So if you see a bus pushing in people to the polls to go vote, follow the bus to see where they go. If they go to another polling location, you are to call the Trump camp immediately, and I'm going to include their number in this video at the end of it. Overwhelm them at the polls with an overwhelming majority of Trump voters. Wear red. Bring a Trump sign with you. Bring a black pen. Ask for a paper ballot. If you're voting electronically, check, double check, triple check. 7, watch out for buses. Follow the buses. Number 8, this one is very important as well. I need you guys to clear out information on your phones for Election Day. The day before November 8th, I need you guys to put on to your computer your memory for all of your videos, all of your photos. I need you guys to create room on your phones so on Election Day you can take pictures and you can take video of what's happening at the different polls. The only reason why we are going to win this election is because of social media, because of photographic evidence, and look at simple things like Loretta Lynch meeting privately with Bill Clinton, a presidential candidate's husband, on a jet when nobody knew about it. Our phones are our best friends, and our phone is the only reason why we're going to win this election. It's what we're doing right here, right now. We're able to communicate with each other, we're able to share information with each other, and we are able to take pictures and take photos to keep this election honest and to keep integrity at the polls. Number 1. You are going to, I love that your neighbor is your best friend, but your phone is also your best friend. Number 1, we are going to overwhelm the polls with Trump voters. Number 2, we are going to wear red on Election Day. Number 3, we are going to bring our Trump signs with us. Number 4, we are going to bring black pens with us. Number 5, we are going to ask for a paper ballot. Number 6, if a paper ballot is not accessible, we will check, double check, and triple check our electronic votes to make sure they are for Mr. Trump. Number 7, we are going to watch out for buses, and if a bus does push out voters to the polls, we are going to follow the bus to see where it goes. Number 8, we are going to clear room on our phones to make sure that we have enough space to take pictures and take videos on Election Day. We are also going to be using our phones to live stream and to Periscope, exactly what I'm doing right here, right now, to keep this election honest. Number 9, if you experience any sort of irregularities, any equipment malfunctions, whatever, you are going to call and you are going to report that immediately. You are not going to leave your polling location. You are going to make a big fuss and a big deal over it. We are no longer silent. We are a loud and proud majority of Trump voters, and we are going to win this election. Come November 8th, we are no longer the silent majority. If something happens and you are denied your vote, or there's a voter irregularity, or the equipment is malfunctioning, you are going to make your voice heard, and you are going to make sure that you're raising hell to get your vote out in a correct manner for Mr. Trump. Okay, now let's go to number 10. Number 10, you are going to volunteer to watch the polls and monitor the polls. So my suggestion is every single person needs to take off November 8th and spend your time either making phone calls or door knocking for Trump or monitoring your polling location. That's number 10, is to volunteer. Let's go through all the steps one more time, and then I'll get to number 11. Overwhelming majority of Trump supporters, you need to come out on November 8th, 2016. Wear red. Bring your Trump sign with you. Put it in the designated area, so many feet outside of the polling location. Bring a black pen with you. Ask for a paper ballot. If a paper ballot is not accessible, you are going to vote electronically. Check, double check, triple check. Number 7, watch out for buses. Follow the bus. Number 8. Sorry, people are texting me. Number 8, you are going to... I can only count to 10, can't remember 11. Trump lane sign coming. Sorry, I'm trying to read your comments too. Number 8, you are going to report to the State Department and also to Trump camp any voting irregularities. Number 9, you are going to clear room on your phone to make sure that you can take photographic evidence and film of any voting irregularities on Election Day. Number 10, you are going to volunteer. You're either going to make phone calls for Mr. Trump or door knock for Mr. Trump or monitor the polls on Election Day. Okay, number 11. Here is one of the most important ever. If someone tries to deny you your right to vote, you're going to vote anyway. You have a constitutional right in America to vote. No one can take that right away from you, unless you're a felon. No one can take that right away. So when you go to vote, if someone says you can't vote, you are going to A, raise hell, and B, you're going to vote no matter what. I forget what it's called, but you are allowed to vote even if it's not the ballot or the electronic machine if they try to take your vote away. I just forget what it's called at this moment in time. It's usually like a little green piece of paper that you have to verify within the next couple of days. Number 11, you are going to vote no matter what. It is your constitutional, God-given right to vote, and you are not leaving that polling location without casting your vote for Mr. Trump. You are provisional ballot. Provisional ballot. So again, thank you guys. Thank you for telling me. You cannot leave a polling location without voting. If someone tries to deny your vote, you are going to vote provisionally, no matter what. We are going to vote Trump, and Mr. Trump is going to win as long as we follow these 11 steps. Let's go through the 11 steps one last time, and then what I need you guys to do is retweet this and share this with everybody. If we follow these 11 easy steps, we will be calling Mr. Trump President of the United States of America. It's that easy. Number 1, an overwhelming, unstoppable majority of Americans are going to come out and vote for Mr. Trump. Number 1. Number 2, we are going to do Operation Code Red and wear red on Election Day. I will be proudly wearing red head to toe. Every single person is going to be knowing what I'm voting for. Number 3, you're going to bring your Trump sign out of your yard with you. Your sign in your yard is not going to do any good on Election Day. Bring it with you, put it outside your polling location, as long as it's the designated area, and they usually have signs saying how many feet. Number 4, bring a black pen with you. Number 5, ask for a paper ballot. You will use your black pen to fill in the paper ballot. Number 6, if a paper ballot is not accessible to you, vote electronically. Check, double check, triple check to make sure that your vote is being cast for Mr. Trump and no other candidate, because electronic machines have been switching and rigging the vote for his opponent. Number 7, watch out for buses. If a bus buses people to the polls, follow the bus to see where it goes. If it goes to another polling location, you are to call the authorities immediately. Number 8, you need to... Hi there. So nice to meet you. Number 8, if a voting irregularity happens, you are to call the Trump camp immediately and let them know if there's any irregularity or if there's a malfunction with the equipment. Number 9, you are going to clear out information on your phone prior to Election Day to make sure you can take film, you can take video, and you can keep this election honest and fair. You will also be Facebook live streaming, and you will be periscoping like I'm doing right now. Photographic evidence is the way that we're going to win this election. We're going to keep the Democrats honest, because guess what? The Democrats already rigged this election from Bernie Sanders. The Democrats are going to do whatever it takes to win this election. They will lie, they will cheat, they will steal, they will rig, and the Democrats have already shown they're going to do that. So it is up to us. We need to become citizen journalists and keep this election honest. The Democrats have done everything they can to rig this election. Yes, thank you all. I'm counting on you guys so much. I'm counting on each of you to become a citizen journalist and keep this election honest. This is the election of our lifetimes. Do you want our guns taken away? Do you want illegal immigrants given blanket amnesty? Do you want NAFTA and TPP to get rid of our jobs? Do you want Hillary Clinton picking Supreme Court justices for the next 50 years, having that judicial precedent? Hell no. So I'm counting on every single one of you, and I'm thankful for your support. Okay, the next one. I was on to number 9 or 10. I can't remember. But what you're going to do next is you're going to volunteer on Election Day. You are either going to monitor the polls, you're going to make phone calls, you're going to door knock for Mr. Trump. You need to take off Election Day to volunteer for Mr. Trump. And what you're going to do is number 11. If someone tries to deny your vote, you're going to make a big fuss about it. You are going to call to make sure that you have the right to vote. And if someone does deny it from you, you are going to be voting provisionally, no matter what. Vote a provisional ballot if someone tries to take away your constitutional right to vote. And finally, who do you call to volunteer? Send me a message. If you guys want to volunteer, send me a message and I'll hook you up. Just anybody can send me a message on Twitter. Yes, Mr. Trump is going to win, and this is going to be one of the biggest blowout elections of our lifetimes, and it's because of people like us. So I am so thankful for you guys. Yes, all of you who want to volunteer, send me a message. Send me a message on Twitter through my direct messaging, and I will get you hooked up. Thank you. Yes, all of you who want to volunteer. And what I want you to do is I want you to also send out a tweet. Because social media is so powerful. People don't even understand how powerful it is. Send out a tweet on Twitter that you are signing up to volunteer for Mr. Trump. And hopefully that will inspire other people to also volunteer for Mr. Trump too. Because this is a grassroots movement to support Trump. Even Michael Moore says Trump will win. It's so true. So true. Okay, guys, you guys know all of the tips for how to prevent election fraud. Thank you. Please share this with someone you know and make a plan for Election Day. Have a plan ready, how you're going to get there, what time you're going to vote, who you're bringing with you, what you're bringing with you. All right? We are going to win this election so big, and it's because of people like you. Thank you, guys.